Nimmitabel in the main street, and we're just about to take off and rejoin the rail trail down towards Bombala. So without further ado, we'll get going. Nice little town, Nimmitabel. It's got a, one thing I remember is the cafe had a couple of large elephants, I think from Thailand, decorated the main street there. Right, okay, so we're on the edge of town, we're picking up the rail trail again, heading south into more wild country. At this point the trail is very easy to follow, close to the highway. Swings around, trying to keep less than 5 degrees of slope. Now where does it go here? Oh, it comes right around there. Okay. There you go. So a good sharp swing to the left. And then another one to the right. Be superb on a rail trail coming around there. I'm sure it's descending a little bit, and a beautiful little place to let loose with the pedals. And once again, we rejoin the more or less straight line. Very pretty little part of the world, nice and undulating. So can't afford to stop concentrating though. This isn't the easiest landmark to follow at this point. I think there's a Nimmitabel river, so if there is, then that would be the Nimmitabel river down there in that valley. Whether the line crosses or not, I don't know, but certainly coming down through some nice undulating wooded country here. And it looks like it, oh yeah, here we go, swings around to the left. Nice big arc. And up ahead you can see a road bridge, very prominent, but before that this is going to swing around to the right and cross the river here, and I would assume there would still be a bridge here for the trail to follow. If not, maybe they'll divert to the road bridge and come back. Beautiful little river to slide past anyway. Now we continue on around to the right. So it sort of follows the line of the river, which will be descending towards Bombala, I think. Bombala would be a little lower altitude than Canberra and Nimmitabel. And oh yeah, there we are. A little bit indistinct, but definitely following the banks of the river here. That'd be a beautiful little spot to ride along. Nice, interesting trail too, where it swings left and right. There we go, swinging around the side of this hill. Crossing the road there, embankment next to the river. And all of a sudden it becomes evident where it's going, which is following the river at a respectable distance. here, it straightens up, still following the river. Does it? The map shows it as peeling off back there, so maybe that's just a road there. Let's go back and see. Oh yeah, that was a road we were tricked into following. The actual rail trail goes around the base of that hill and heads off through this open country. Doesn't look any different to the road we were following, so anyway, we're back on track according to the map. Looks like we're climbing a little bit again too. Very quiet little corner of the world, I imagine. The actual rail trail itself is quite indistinct, but the marks that's left in the topography, the little cuttings and easements and whatever, make it pretty obvious where it's going. So it follows this gently rising uphill section. Once again, it'd be a very nice country to ride through with views across the local farming landscape. Sweeping left-hander to come out possibly at the high point, and I think it levels off here from the look of it. And probably for the rest of the trip to Bombala, this undulating semi-open, semi-wooded landscape will be the go. But rightly from the map when I was plotting the course, there's a few big swings and roundabouts on the last bit towards Bombala, but anyway, just for the moment it's fairly easy to follow. Gets close to the highway here again. Again, swings away on its own little course over to the right while the highway goes left. Yeah, it goes right around the back of this little hill. Wow, that's a big dam over there on the right. There's the rail trail curves left. Beautiful dam there. And all of a sudden the countryside opens out into this huge view. About this country myself. I haven't spent much time down here. I believe they speak English down here. Probably have electricity and the internet too. Although you can never be too sure. Might be hillbilly country. Yes, here we go. Here's these beautiful undulating, swinging parts of the trail again. especially if that's a downhill run, that would be such good fun. Feet off the pedals, wind whistling through the hair. There's a nicely built up embankment. I think we've only seen the one tunnel on this trip. Now it makes a fairly good right hand bend here to go down in this direction for some reason. Oh yeah, big change of course because the highway is way over there, so we're following the river again. Don't know what river it is. It's actually a creek here anyway. This would be wide open sheep country here, I imagine. Some beautiful river flats. Growing lucerne and whatever, so the trail here would be have some beautiful scenic views of agricultural activities. No doubt, from the look of the countryside just here, there's going to be quite a few places where the farmers would have put fences up over the line, and that's something that the rail trail would have to deal with. But it's been successfully dealt with in many other jurisdictions around the country, so it shouldn't be too difficult to organise around here. And you know, if you were a sociable type farmer and a bit forward thinking, you might think, well, I'll count the number of people using the trail and maybe open a little shop front or something, or a little shed where we can serve refreshments or coffee. Got to be lots of business opportunities, small or large, with such a large rail trail project as this Canberra Queanbeyan to Bombala one is envisaged. But as the Tumbarumba to Rosewood trail, oh, there's some nice trestle bridges crossing that creek. Yeah, as the rail trail down at Tumbarumba has indicated, the economic boost to the town has been quite significant, and even extends to nearby towns such as Batlow and Adelong, who have seen a flow-on effect of the increased tourism and business. So I think if I lived in this area, I'd be well and truly trying to get on board with whatever advantages it offers. Just imagine a nice tea stop, even if it's not actually a shop, just a couple of chairs and a table and somewhere nice for the cyclists to sit and meet the locals and vice versa. So it looks like it crosses the road there. Yep. So I imagine that road doesn't have a huge amount of traffic, so that shouldn't be a problem. Again, we're going in an entirely different direction to the road. Sweeping away around in a large curve to follow the contours of the landscape. Some people want to reopen the whole Canberra to the coast railway line again, but a bit like coal-powered electricity generation. It's days have passed, the numbers no longer stack up. Considering that Canberra's 15-kilometre light rail cost $1 billion to set up, you know, trying to resurrect this railway line would run into the hundreds of millions, and maybe even, yeah, probably well over $1 billion by the time everything is sorted out. And there would be some economic flow and effects, but most of the money would just pass through the region, not actually spent there, whereas the I think the rail trail budget's 30 million or something, but whatever benefits it brings would be, the money would be introduced into the local economies, not trundled past on railway wagons. But anyway, that's for others to discuss. We're following the rail trail and showing you what it would look like. I see evidence of a town ahead in the distance, at least 10-15 kilometres away, so this might be the final sections of the trail. Certainly a beautiful little part of the world. And aeroplanes all around. Low ranges, just once again the other side of those ranges and those distant hills is country that goes on down towards the coast. So for those who do the rail trail and finish up at Bombala, there'd be options to put bikes on buses down to the coast, or even ride on down to the coast. So this would just be the first stage in a far-reaching initiative for this part of the world. River down there on the left, but it doesn't look like the railway line goes anywhere near it. But I can see Bombala in the distance there, so it must be a joining of that river and Bombala down there at some point. But at the moment we're running along the top of the rise, so there'll be some amazing views over there to the west, and some views over there to the east, and a beautiful little trail to follow. First off it's swinging this way, then it's swinging that way. This will be a downhill section here, so you'd just be feet off the pedals and hanging back and just letting the bike ride most of the way, I imagine. Swing to the left and straighten up to the right. Looks like we're following the side of this hill for the time being. Obviously comes around this hill. Oh yeah, there it is. Big embankment there, and a big cutting there. Pretty good varied rail trail topography anyway. One minute you're in a cutting, the next you're on an embankment. Beautiful views down to that river. guessing that the river at Bombala might well be the Bombala River, but don't quote me on that. My geography in this part of the world isn't that good. According to this map down on the bottom right of the screen, it certainly, the rail trail continues to swing left and right, all the way down here. Beautiful views down there of the river. And a fairly varied landscape with trees, unlike the barren Monero plains. Getting a bit lower here, so a bit more sheltered. Right. So this trail, oh yeah, it takes a really big, nice long curve around close to the river and then swings back towards Bombala. As you can see. And heads down. Keeps on heading down here, crossing the road there, following the road down towards the corner of the river. This Bombala looks like a nice little town. What, 3,000 people? 4,000 people maybe? Right, so somewhere in the landscape there is the railway line, which I've lost. Oh no, that must be it just there. More or less swallowed by the landscape. And I imagine that whatever embankment crossed the river there has long since disappeared. And that's where the trail comes to an end. Alright, so that, I think, where that embankment was just then, was the site of the old Bombala rail stop. Oh yeah, it must be the Bombala railway station just down there. So that's where the journey would end. And the town of Bombala will await those who cycle. Distance, a couple of 100 k's I imagine was the total distance for the rail trail. So in honour of the end of the rail trail, maybe we should see if we can land right next to the old station. Straighten up when I'm trying to point it in this direction. Not very cooperative beasties, helicopters. They have a mind of their own. So I want to turn this way. That's better. Rightio, so we're approaching the final destination of the Queanbeyan Canberra to Bombala rail trail. The preserved old railway station, I'm assuming that is. Just go and land there, and then later on we can head into town and have coffee and dinner and whatever else you have. Right, there we go. End of that thing. So you have now seen pretty well the entire course